Big game for the 49ers defense yesterday. Had a game against the Jacksonville Jaguars, who were sitting at uh, 6-2 on the season, one of the top teams in the AFC. Actually, was in the lead for takeaways yesterday. So, but the Niners went into Jacksonville after losing three straight games, coming off a bye week. Everyone coming back healthy. Debo Samuel, Trent Williams, and Niners go in there and blow them out, 34-3. Another blowout game for the 49ers this season. I think this is the sixth time this season the 49ers have scored 30 plus points, and each time they've won every game. Now, the question during the bye week was what was going on with the defense and Steve Wilkes. 49ers make a trade before the deadline to go and get Chase Young from the Washington Commanders for a third round compensatory pick, which, even if he does not resign, they get that right back. So they pretty much gave up nothing for him. And now, with him coming in for his first game, the 49ers defense get 5 sacks in that game, 4 turnovers, and they only allowed 3 points the entire game. Question is the Niners defense going to be able to play like this for the rest of the season? Me being a Niners fan, I'm going to say yes. Um, it's to me, it's almost to me, it reminds me of the same thing that we did last year when we went and traded for Christian McCaffrey. In the sense that our running game wasn't necessarily an issue, and it just exploded. Got one of the best offensive weapons in the league in Christian McCaffrey. There was a lot of question about his health, but he came in and pretty much took over the running game spot. This season, I mean, even though I don't see Chase Young as that big of an impact as CMC this so far in his career just yet, but he has that potential. Playing alongside Nick Bosa right now, Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave, this defense can definitely explode with something that wasn't necessarily an issue for them. These defensive line has always been the best for San Francisco for the last 3, 4, 5 years. And all you do is just go add to what was already good. The passing defense was actually pretty good yesterday. Didn't allow a touchdown, not too many penalties. So I would say that the defense is back and should continue to be like this for the rest of the season. Now, there are some tougher games coming up. Of course, we still have to play Seattle twice. Got to play the Ravens, have to play the Eagles. So it's not going to be easy, but I expect them to step up to the plate and complete the task. Tony, I'm going to go to you next. What do you think?
You're on mute.
I think you guys played against a team that was 23rd in offense and 19th in like defense or something like that. Like what happened yesterday was supposed to happen. The Jaguars are a fantasy fantasy 6-2 team. They weren't a real 6-2 team. They were skating by on with what they were doing. It wasn't like they were strong. They were beating teams, but look at how they were beating them. It wasn't like they were putting emphasis on winning. They were just winning games. They did what it took to win games. So I wouldn't say like something like that. Now, as far as the Niners defense, they should get better. Normally, when you bring in a defensive player onto a team, it's especially someone like with the talent of Chase, it doesn't come in there and it doesn't hurt the continuity within the team. Normally, defensive players seem to gel a lot faster. So, do I expect the defense to be a little better? Yeah, I think they're going to take a lot of pressure off of the secondary. But I don't think that that anyone should have been surprised with what happened yesterday. Your team is going to be that 49ers team is going to be good if Purdy if he remains the game manager and not the game winner. That's going to be the thing with them. He was trying to do too much in those 3 games when you guys lost, and it was doing things that was unlike things you would see him do, and the mistakes he was making. But I don't think the defense is going to be I mean, where they rank right now?
What
What is it?
top six
Yeah,
overall.
yeah. So I don't think that they are going to be any. They're going to probably get better, but will it be any noticeable, any different from last year's better? I don't think so.
Carl.
So, Dave, I agree with mostly what you said, except for one thing. I think Chase Young will have a similar impact to CMC. Now, here's why I say this.
Okay.
Dave, you agree that your secondary is the weakness of your team, correct?
I've always said that. Yep.
So, how do you help your secondary?
Defense. You getting putting pressure on the quarterback.
Exactly. And that's what Chase Young and Nick Bosa does together. If y'all
Mm-hmm.
remember, Chase Young and Nick Bosa were together at Ohio State.
Yep.
So there
Dominant
goes the
too.
continuity there. Then
Mm-hmm.
you add him with what you said, Eric Armstead, with Javon Hargrave. So now you're getting to the quarterback quicker and faster, whatever words you want to use, which helps your defensive secondary out tremendously. Now you can run blitzes and have defenders guard short because you know the pressures want to get there and you're not susceptible. Well, at least you're susceptible to the deep pass if they don't get there, but you have the trust in your D line to get to the quarterback. Also, having Chase Young with that rotation, you can rotate guys in and out, keeps them fresh. So I think he does have a similar impact to CMC defensively because again, he helps your weakness, which is your secondary. He's going to he what was top 5, top 10 in quarterback pressures, I think Joe said
He
before
was.
getting traded.
I believe he was top. I think he was top in pressures. I think he
Yeah,
was number one in pressures all season.
number
Yeah.
one, two.
So yeah, so I think it's a tremendous addition to the defense. I kind of disagree a little bit with Tony about the Jags being a fantasy 6-2. So it's like half and half because I can see what he's saying because they did kind of narrowly escape the Saints. The Saints almost forced OT. They kind of did narrowly similar escape the Steelers. I mean, the Steelers couldn't really get nothing going, and then Kenny Pickett gets hurt. They did take care of business against the Colts twice, but they lost to the Texans in blowout fashion. I got the schedule right here. I try to remember it, but I got the schedule right here. They escaped the Bills in London. They did. I can't really remember how they won against Atlanta, but they beat Atlanta. But I never had faith in this Atlanta team. The score was 23-7, but
Same.
I don't have faith in this Atlanta team. But I will say that Trevor Lawrence is a really good quarterback. And to do what you did to a guy like Trevor Lawrence should mean something. So I think this is a really good help for this defense. I do think it does make this defense better, and it is a huge impact.
Yeah, that was my whole thing about it. It was more so not necessarily going against this offense, but it's the quarterback. Because you look at the last 3 weeks, the quarterbacks have been able to do whatever they want against this defense. So the fact that we were able to stop Trevor Lawrence, who only had a 15 QBR yesterday, made me feel a lot better. Because Joe Burrow had a great day against this defense. Kirk Cousins had a great day against his defense. It was almost nothing we could do. DTR didn't have a great day, but he
PJ,
made plays. He
PJ,
made plays in that
PJ
who?
Walker.
Oh yeah, PJ Walker. I'm sorry. PJ Walker had a good game against the 49ers. Now he didn't play great, but he did what he needed to do to be able to put them in position to win that game. Now, of course, because of a kick that was missed from Jake Moody, we still should have won. But hey, it's at the end of the day, the Browns won that game, and it was a defensive battle all game. So
Yeah,
I just like what I see from the defense, and I kind of sort of agree with Tony, when you said that he needs to be more of a manager and not really the winner. But the thing is, in games that we've played, he's been either him or CMC has been the reason we've won those games. 6-0, and like I said, every game we've scored over 30 points, and he plays well. I think only in one game that we won, he threw an interception. Other than that, all the interceptions came in the games that we lost.
yeah. I mean, that's because he first of all he knows the offense very well, right? And the one thing I give him is that he always throws it to the right guy, which is what a game manager is supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and that's the only thing with him that I see that you're right about playing against that quarterback, right? Playing against him, but he's been pressured like that all year long. He's just been making timely plays. Okay, he's been making timely plays. There are the Jaguars are I'm not saying I don't really want to call them overrated like I saw someone else call and saying in the chat, but I think that there's to me they're like the hype of of that chicken sandwich that everybody wants to talk about, right?
Popeyes.
Popeye's chicken sandwich.
No, not Popeyes. What's the place that don't open up on Sundays?
Oh,
That
Chick-fil-A. I thought that's what I was
Chick-fil-A.
thinking.
Chick-fil-A, right? They're like the hype of the Chick-fil-A sandwich. Most people go in there and they talk about the sauces from Chick-fil-A, right? And that's what they talk about. They really don't talk about the sandwich, the chicken itself, but they talk about the sauces on in there. And that's kind of what it is. There are bits and pieces of the Jaguars that are really good, right? They're like those sauces within that chicken sandwich within the team, right? So you got some players that
Chick-fil-A don't play that.
if they go to the doggone playoffs, they're going out in the first round if they make it to the playoffs, because that Houston team is creeping up, right?
They'll make it.
And they keep that Houston team is gaining some confidence, and they're creeping up, and that North is pretty strong. So you're going to get at least 2 out of the North, right?
I think 3 will come out of the North. Honestly, that's
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You might get a third one out of there.
I don't know. It's going to be tough. It's going to be crazy. AFC is going to be crazy.
Yeah, it is. I definitely agree. But hey, we'll see. Niners play the Buccaneers on Sunday. Not a what you call a offensive great team, but defense got another chance to go out there and do something and play well.
I'm gonna make a prediction right now. They're gonna have at least 2 interceptions.
Well, we got 2 yesterday.
I'm just saying, just the way Baker's throwing the ball now. In the beginning of the year, he was good. Now he's throwing the ball. He's like, I just want the ball out of my hand.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Well, now it's time.
Thank you for staying to the end. If you're watching this on YouTube, please like this video, subscribe, and also hit that notification button so you can be notified next time we put out a video. If you're listening on any podcast platform, subscribe and hit that notification button, y'all, so you can be notified we put out another podcast audio. And last but not least, hit that share button. No matter what you're listening to or watching it, hit that share button and send it to somebody that you know that would love to watch this episode you just listened to. So once again, thank you for staying to the end, and we'll see y'all in the next episode.